Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to react to a world-class bullshitter video. I love these guys. I love to listen to these guys when I'm video gaming or just out walking. They're really fun and all that. They talk a lot about pop culture and comics and that sort of thing, shenanigans. Um, the video I'm going to react to is it was of news. It came out a couple of days ago that apparently the Star Wars hotel did not kind of what was the name, cruise something, hotel cruise, that Star Wars built kind of like with a theme of Star Wars. You can go there and role play you're in Star Wars. uh, and the entire cost for it was around $5,000. $5,000. Like, if you have that sort of money, why don't you go to some sort of Caribbean island or paradise island somewhere and you spend an entire month for just living life? Instead, you want to go to a fucking Star Wars build up role playing. What? I mean, I love Star Wars, absolutely, but the old Star Wars before Disney. I was like, who the hell has this sort of money to spend 3 dumbass nights on a hotel? Like, apparently you were going to be locked up inside of some sort of hangar or whatever, the built as a Star Wars ship or something, and you're gonna play or kind of like arcade video games and that sort of thing. Like, what? Are you kidding me? And for those who doesn't know, like $5,000 in Swedish currency is around, if I remember, either 60 or 50,000 Swedish crowns. That's like 2 months of payment for your work. Like, it is insane. Anyway, so I haven't seen this video, and I've been away, so from my computer and the internet. Like, oh, finally I am. All of this shit that's all going on. Like, sometimes I just wanna leave my house, leave my computer, leave my phone, and just walk away from it all, because I'm done with it all. Like, shit, like the world is so fucking stupid sometimes. So anyway, let's see what World Class Bullshitters has to say. Because it's around 11 minutes, I think it's just going to be one who's talking about it. Also, was this a surprise that the Star Wars Cruise Hotel was shutting down? I was expecting it to last at least 1 year, a year more, but obviously not. It's just not a project that's going to outlast Disney itself. But no, in a way, no, I wasn't surprised about it. Just a little, because it was very soon, and also because of the prices and the inflation in America, and here in Sweden it's go down a little bit, thankfully, but it's still a inflation crisis around the world right now. But in America it's apparently really worse. But yep, let's see what they have to say.
The Star Wars brand continues to sink faster than the Titanic.
The following is a world-class bullshitters exclusive.
I think, if I remember correctly, the Titanic took around 2.5 hours to sink. Yeah, it must have been. And her sister ship, the Britannic, I think she sank way quicker, like a half an hour or something. Just history facts.
Disney is known for two things: movies and theme parks. So when they purchased Lucasfilm in 2012, Star Wars fans were curious as to what they'd be seeing in the near future. Fast forward to 2017, when Disney announced it would be creating a Star Wars hotel for its Florida theme park. On March 1st, 2022, the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser was opened, and in record time, it will be closing. Disney World is shutting down the Galactic Star Cruiser, the immersive Star Wars-themed hotel that cost around $5,000 for a 2-night stay.
Oh no.
In an update on the Disney website, the company says the Star Cruiser will host its final guests from September 28th.
Excuse me.
We are so proud of all the cast members and Imagineers who brought Star Wars the Galactic Star Cruiser to life, and look forward...
I want to point out something. The what do you call it? The pictures we're seeing right now, it looks fucking nothing. Absolutely nothing. from the videos and the photos and that sort of thing that's been been smuggled out. Like, it looks nothing like this.
To delivering an excellent experience for guests during the remaining voyages over the coming months, Disney's update says. Thank you to our guests and fans for making this experience so special. Disney's Galactic Star Cruiser hasn't been around for very long. It only first opened its doors in March of 2022. The lavish hotel is modeled after the Halcyon in Star Wars, featuring a highly detailed decor, interactive events, themed dining, and live entertainment spanning a 2-night experience. But with a price of roughly $4,800 for 2 adults or $6,000 for 3 adults and 1 child, Disney doesn't exactly make taking the stay very affordable. There have been signs that the experience may have been struggling, however. In March, Disney announced that it would start scheduling 2 bookings per week in October, down from its typical 3 to 4 weekly bookings. With the Halcyon set to close in September, Disney won't get the chance to make this change. It's been a pretty rough day for Disney. In addition to closing up the Galactic Star Cruiser, CEO Bob Iger announced that the company is canceling its plans to build a $1 billion development near its Orlando theme park. The move, which Iger attributes to changing business conditions in an internal memo, is likely the result of Disney's feud with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Disney sued Florida last month, accusing the state of partaking in a targeted campaign of government retaliation after the company expressed opposition to the state's Don't Say Gay law. The canceled project also means that 2,000 Disney employees in California will no longer have to relocate to Florida.
The Don't Say Gay law, I think it's not what it's called, it's something else. This is kind of like a slang word for it, a nickname. I feel like sometimes you have to take a stand for something. So basically, if I remember correctly, apparently in America it's allowed for teachers to teach out, gender studies and that sort of thing, to almost like at a level of almost kindergarten. Like, what the hell? In my opinion, let children be children. Like, sexuality and genders and all these sort of fairy tales, in my opinion, just let the children, maybe you hearing a lot of noises from the headphones from the beer, just let children be children. Like, all of these things, as I said, genders and sexuality and all this sort of thing, just let children experience it and figure it out for themselves when they grow up, in my opinion, like I did. In Sweden we have, I don't know how it is right now, but when I think I was in high school, it was kind of like the time for talking about sexuality and that sort of thing. High school is fine, but I think it was the last year in high school. So basically we were split up, boys and girls. We went into different rooms. We were talking about different sexualities and how does a male's genitals work and all that sort of thing, and female, what females works and that sort of thing. Obviously, as teenagers, we were like, but and all that sort of thing. Nowadays, I'm just don't care. So yeah, in my opinion, just let children be children. Don't expose them to these sort of things when they're so young. I am taking a stand. I will say that in a way I support it. Like, don't teach children these sort of things. Let them figure it out for themselves, or the best opinion, let the parents teach them, because it is up in a parent. I'm not a parent, but I do feel like, for Christ's sake, or whichever God you believe in, God damn it, you are a parent. Take some fucking responsibility and teach your children some sort of how the world really works when they're inappropriate age. That's what I feel about it. Anyway, let's focus on this, not on the political things.
One of the reasons why workers staged a walkout last year. How could anyone have seen this coming? When initially announced, fans mocked the price. $6,000 for a 2-night stay was incredibly steep, no matter the brand. Some speculated that Disney would lower the price to entice more visitors. But after this news, we know that's not the Tiffany case. Star Wars has been one of the most successful brands in history. Fans have spent billions of dollars on merchandise from the galaxy far, far away, and Disney was banking on that for the Galactic Star Cruiser. What they failed to realize is that there may have been fans for the new version of Star Wars, but that number is nothing when compared to the massive amount of fans the original Star Wars trilogy has. The push to use the modern sequel trilogy characters in the Galactic Star Cruiser was definitely a deciding factor in its demise. Adult fans, the ones who have a strong emotional connection to Star Wars, were not emotionally invested in the new era of the franchise.
Yep.
Characters like Rey, Kylo
Screw
Ren, and the rest of
the
the gang were
sequel.
not a draw. The sequel trilogy itself relied heavily on nostalgia from the original trilogy, and when Disney created an experience that was only the sequel trilogy, fans largely ignored it. Fans were not going to pay through the nose for the sequel trilogy. Anyone could have seen that coming. Of course, there's pushback to this, but the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for the Galactic Star Cruiser. Disney invested $2 billion in the hotel, only to have it close in just over a year. They could not justify the high price to fans for a lackluster experience. Everything that has happened with Star Wars since Disney took over led to this closing. Once Disney took over, Star Wars became a battleground for modern identity politics and bad derivative storytelling. On top of that, fans did not connect with the new characters and were mocked for their displeasure with the treatment of Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and the rest. While the price of the Star Wars hotel was the ultimate factor for its closing, one can't help to think that a hotel based on the original trilogy would have been more successful. People spend money on things they love, and fans love the original films from nearly 45 years ago. Basing it on something they've loved their entire life would have brought in more money than basing it off the new, trendy Star Wars that longtime fans abandoned a long time ago. This will go down as one of the all-time great failures in theme park history. In just over a year, the Star Wars Galactic Cruiser has crashed, and there were no survivors.
Just a year?
Like we've said on the channel, if you
Felt
had
like
made this
2.
a night at the Death Star, you could have justified a higher price. Stay on the Millennium Falcon, go to the Mos Eisley Cantina. Star Wars has wonderful locales from around the galaxy, and there's no reason that Disney had to choose this. But we know the real reason. The woman in charge of Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy, pushed for the new Star Wars and pushed out the old. I don't know why she chose...
Like Disney... The fact that you don't see the trend, that the fans are leaving because of Kathleen Kennedy. There's a lot of reasons, but Kathleen Kennedy is the biggest one. She is a destructive force. You need to get rid of her. Put someone who actually knows about Star Wars, who love the project and love his or her work. That simple. It's that simple. And also, as a Star or former Star Wars fan myself, one of the big reasons why I left is because number one, Disney allowed, for example, Johnson, for the Ryan Johnson, I think it was, allow him to just talk down to fans just for criticizing simple things, for his dumbass shitty movie, The Return of the Jedi. No, not Return of the Jedi. I don't remember. I hate these movies. I just don't want to remember them. But anyway, he was like, "Oh, you're a Russian bot, and you're fascist. You're alt-righters, and you're bad people. You're transphobic. You're homophobic, and you're sexist." Like, how fucking dare you, you asshole! I just said, "Oh, I don't like this scene because it doesn't make sense," and he was like, "Yeah, then you're sexist." What the fuck? Like, Disney was just like, keep going, yeah, show him. And now they're expecting to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry what Ryan Johnson said to you, we're sorry, come back." At that moment, I mean, just what? Go to hell, Disney. This is so fair to what's happening to you. I'm so fucking glad that this is happening to you. Oh, I'm so glad this is happening. And also, whatever, I don't care if you support, now again, political, if you support Florida, DeSantis choices and that sort of thing, I support it. Show this corporate stupid people where they should sit. Put them at their place. They just think they are the gods of humanity. They own everything, and they can say whatever they want. They own everything. Like, sit the hell down. Pay taxes like a normal goddamn corporation does. Give the money back to the people. It sounds like a socialist, but yeah, that's basically the way of the capitalist. Buy, pay taxes, it returns to the state. The state uses it, the capitalist circle, that sort of thing. I know I'm going in very political, but this is the thing, Disney. Sorry. This is the thing. You're making people more mad, like overpricing your projects and just expecting and just telling us you have to like it. No, I don't have to, and I don't like it because it doesn't make sense. It talks down. You talk it down to me just because I have a mind of my own, like, and you throwing insults at me, my friends, my family, and you letting all your employees do the same. It's like, go to hell. Like, I am watching you burn, and I'm just sitting. I'm gonna sit there with a fine drink and just, oh yes, burn, you really should burn, burn. Oh, I'm so glad Disney's just feeling the pain right now. It may not be a massive pain, but it's a pain nonetheless.
To do that, but ultimately it was a terrible decision. Longtime fans saw this coming. We knew that the new trilogy wasn't successful. That's why when you go to a discount chain like Ollie's, you can go find Star Wars toys based on those films readily available. The Star Wars...
Just like here in Sweden, I said it in one of my previous videos when it came to the Star Wars theme. No one is buying the Star Wars toys, not even here in Sweden. No one wants them. They're shit characters in shit movies. No one wants them. No one looks up to them. They are not inspirational or something like that. Like Luke Skywalker or Obi-Wan or Anakin or Count Dooku or Darth Sidious. No one cares. And also if you're... And I don't know if this is a negative thing, but we're also seeing a lot of like, no one is buying Vader toys, no one is buying Obi-Wan toys, no one is buying prequel toys or even original toys. Why? Either because they are like me, leaving Star Wars, they are leaving the ship, like he said, Titanic, like, we are leaving this shit. I want to survive, but it's also because we're done. Like Darth Vader and all this sort of thing, the Galactic Empire. Just move on. Just move on. Move on. It's not that difficult. We don't want Vader anymore. We don't care about Vader anymore. It's done. We know his stories. Why do you keep dragging him out from the galactic era and that sort of thing, like the Civil War era? Like, just move on. New characters, new stories, new worlds. Something new. New threats. Something. And then they say, oh, they tried that with the sequel. No, they didn't even try. They just copy the original just to make them more modern. If you don't believe that, then you're very blind.
Sequel trilogy toys that we're talking about from Ollie's are old toys from 2017 that haven't sold and are still sitting there. Those characters were not beloved. They never were and they never will be. But this is a result of being out of touch with your consumer base. The Star Wars fan base is massive, and the income bracket for Star Wars fans varies from the top to the bottom. But it has to be an experience that's worth the money. I can't stress how funny this is. Again, how did people not see this coming? $6,000 for a 2-night experience that wasn't even a full 48 hours. You got to hang out on the starship that no one gives a damn about. You got to play 80s looking arcade video games, eat overpriced food, and watch cosplayers fight with toy lightsabers. It's like going to a Comic-Con. You can get that for the price of it. Hell, every city in America has a comic convention. Come to the Cincinnati Comic Expo to meet us. But you can go and see Rey and Kylo Ren and Dickie cosplayers run around and act like their version of Star Wars is great. But it's not. This is just more concrete proof that that version of Star Wars didn't work, will not work, and isn't worth a damn. If all roads lead to the sequel trilogy, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Oh, we're going to lead the Mandalorian into the New Order and all this shit. Why? Nobody fucking likes that version. Sorry to cuss, not sorry to cuss. It's Disney Star Wars, it's garbage, it's bullshit, and no one enjoys it. All we can do is point our fingers and laugh. Laugh at the failure of Disney. Laugh at the hubris of Kathleen Kennedy and the ego of Bob Iger. This is their failure, and they deserve it. Disney can't make a good
absolutely. I agree completely.
I mean, ever since they bought Marvel Comics, we've had shittier and shittier characters shoved down our throats to the point where we celebrate when they die. And now you have Star Wars filled with characters that very few people like. Oh, but Rey is an icon to girls. Who gives a shit? Those little girls ain't buying anything for Star Wars. They don't have any buying power, and the things they are buying aren't Star Wars related. Lucasfilm, you've taken the Star Wars brand and you've rubbed it in bantha poodoo. And now you expect us to just open our wallets and say, hey, we love Star Wars, we'll buy in.
Yeah, exactly what they're trying to say.
Absolutely not. No thank you, Kathleen.
Exactly how it is. They think it is.
You guys have shot yourselves in the foot, and now you're bleeding out.
Yep.
I'm not going to help. I'm not going to give you a bandage. I'm just going to stand there and watch you bleed. I hate to
Yeah.
say it, but this is what they deserve. They get what they deserve. Again, spending years dumping on the fans. Oh, it's Russian bots. People love our movies. They're just
Yeah.
terrible individuals on the internet. They're racist. They're trolls. They're bigots. Guess what?
Screw
We're
you,
none of those
Disney.
things, and we all have money, and none of us are spending it at your fucking theme park because it's overpriced and it's not worth a damn. You know, a good place that I had a lot of fun at was Super Nintendo World. Not going to give a commercial for that.
Never been there,
that was a
but
fun
in a
experience that was
Nintendo.
worth the price of admission, because that's all it cost was the price of admission. $6,000, bitch. Come on. Get your head out of your asses, Disney. In these trying economic times, you really think you're going to be able to milk people for that much money to go sit in a fucking dark room with video screens and eat overpriced theme park food? For $6,000, I better get Gordon Ramsay in there to fucking cook me a meal and yell at the fucking stormtroopers along with me. Why not include old Star Wars actors like Billy D. Williams or Mark Hamill? Have them show up at the Galactic Star Cruiser. Oh man, a night with Luke Skywalker where he tells you sit.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be worth a little bit more worth to the money. Even though, yes, politically, I don't stand. I know political. I know we're gonna bring a lot of political things here. When it comes to politics and Mark Hamill, yes, he's a little bit way too crazy when it comes to politics. I mean, that's the thing about actors and actresses or celebrities in general. If they start to dwell into more political things, it's not in their best interest. Let's be honest here. But yeah, if someone from the movies like Mark Hamill or yeah, like maybe not Harrison Ford, he is probably going to retire. He must retire soon. Like anyway, anyone from the actors just come in and just talk a little bit about their time. Not talking about the characters like oh Luke Skywalker was born in Tatooine and that sort of thing. No, just talk about the movie. Like sit down with regular people, talk about like, yeah, I remember the first day when I came into the set, George Lucas said that and this and that, and gave me the script. I read it and I acted on either on feelings or just something like that. That would like maybe if not for children that would be so interesting, but for someone like who's a little bit more older like me and that sort of thing, I would love to sit down and just talk about how was your first day at this set. What were your feelings for when you first heard about Star Wars or something like that? Like asking an actor what were the feelings when they first heard about the name of the title, what the role was going to be like, what the role was going to be, what the script said about them. Like that's something so much more interesting.
Sit around the Jedi campfire. He tells you galactic stories of, I don't know. Basically, he just retells you the original Star Wars, like that scene in Return of the Jedi. I'm just spitballing here. I'm trying to come up with reasons and ways to make this thing worth the money. Here's how you could actually
You're
make
making a good
Galactic
job.
Star Cruiser worth it. You go, you spend your $6,000, you spend your 48 hours there, and at the end of it, they refund you for $4,000. $1,000 a day is a lot of money. It's still too much money. Shit. I don't know. I feel like this is a game of limbo. How low can you go? How low are you willing to pay for the Star Wars Star Cruiser? I'll tell you this, I'm going to beat everybody. I'll pay $0 and I'll go this October. No, I won't, because nobody else will. So, folks, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to stop celebrating. It's like the end of Return of the Jedi up in here. We're all dancing around the campfire. We're hitting the shit out of these Imperial helmets, and we're lighting somebody on fire because it's that kind of party. So, I'm going to go to Galactic Burning Man and have a good time with these Ewoks. I've been trying to hold back my laughter and my excitement, but you get what you deserve, Disney. This is exactly what we expected to happen.
Yep.
And this is exactly what they deserve. It all came back to bite them in the ass. And this is just the first domino to fall. First the Galactic Star Cruiser, then Galaxy's Edge, then Star Wars itself. Folks, thank you for watching.
That's
we'll be
gonna
back before the
feel.
Galactic Star Cruiser crashes. Actually, we'll be back in a little bit to talk about Indiana Jones 5 and how rotten it is. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel and watch every video that we put out to follow the never-ending saga that is the decline of Western entertainment. So, folks, thank you for watching. I'll be back next time very soon. But in the meantime, be smart.
Okay, so it's over. Not gonna take the entire end of it. Yeah, maybe I can mention it all. Indiana Jones, the Tides of Times of I don't remember the Tides of Times. Yeah, I have no plans to seeing it. I love Indiana Jones. I mean, I love the archaeology, adventures and that sort of thing. It's like National Treasure. say what you want about those movies. I love them. I think they're really good movies. And also that what they're called, the Da Vinci Code, and the second one, what was it called? Angels and Demons, and I don't remember the latest one, the name of it, with pandemics and sort of thing. They're so interesting. They're so cool. And the Indians is also a very iconic character. I do love the first one. I will say that the Ark of the Covenant, it's a time classic, honestly, and Harrison Ford at his prime. The Temple of Doom, the second one, I like some of the characters. The story was really cool, I think, but it's not my favorite one. I mean, the antagonist and that sort of thing wasn't really didn't feel threatening compared to like the Nazis in the Ark of the Covenant and the Last Crusade. And speaking of it, Last Crusade is in fact my favorite Indiana Jones movie. I love that movie. The acting, Sean Connery at his best and that sort of thing. Maybe not his best, but there's such a good movie. Then of course we have the, what was it called? Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls or something. I feel like they could have managed to make it much better. I mean, some people say, Indiana Jones fighting communists doesn't make sense. It makes really good sense. Like the Joseph Stalin was an absolute. I mean, you think Hitler was crazy? Start reading a history book and look at Joseph Stalin or Mao Zedong, or what's his name again? Pol Pot, and Fidel Castro, and was it Kim Il Sung, the first the current president of North Korea, or leader? He's dead, but he's the leader. It's a necrocracy. I don't remember what it's called. Basically, in North Korea, the guy who founded the country is still running the country for some reason. Well, symbolically. Cold War stuff, that would be really good. I mean, I'm a little bit like spies, like the communist going in America, and American spy going in, trying to go in and contain communism. It does make sense in Cold War, where you have a lot of spying and that sort of thing, and it would make sense for crazy people like Stalin and that sort of thing. Just go out and try to find these mythical things that can help you. Then of course you have these alien things. Yes, that's unfortunately where it starts to go down for me. Even though I can understand it, I mean, they try to mix in with that Aztec Mayan, I think it was more like Aztec culture that was uplifted by aliens, that sort of thing. It's cool in a way because it kind of like go in with that whole ancient aliens, whatever it was called, shit program in my opinion. But it's kind of like, it's a little bit cool. Yes, it's a little bit cool, but they made it so much better. And the whole atomic bomb feature, yes, doesn't make any sense. When I first saw the movie, I remember it. I was sitting with my one of my grandparents, and they worked at universities in math, and also studied a lot of the nuclear weapons, that sort of thing, hydrogen bombs, that sort of thing, with the effects of it. And when they saw the scene, they were like, "This is not possible." They said it to little me, like, "You do realize this is not possible?" And then of course we had the newest Indiana Jones, Dice of Destiny, whatever it was called. I'm not interested. Like, Harrison, here's the thing. If they wanna make a new Indiana Jones movie, give the torch over to Indy's son, his child. If the rumors are now correct, and it looks like there is, that Indiana Jones is going to die and he's going to give over the torch of his role to that female who has nothing to do with Indians, no bloodline, no nothing, just a random chick from absolute nowhere, and she's a bad actress in my opinion. I've seen her in some other, I think it was a TV show or something, I don't remember exactly, but I remember one specific movie, and she was so bad in it. And like they already had a character for Indianians to give over the torch. Like, what is going on? I know Hollywood is out of ideas and they don't know what they're doing. You just sitting in a room and just froze. You know that scene in South Park when Stan is returning his father's blender to the Department of Treasury, I think it was, and they are like, "Oh, wait a minute, you want to return it?" "Yes, I want to return it." "Okay, then just wait a minute." They're going away, and then you come back and you said, "Well, we have determined the value on this blender is like $1 billion." Like, what? How did you come to that conclusion? It is revealed that they are just cutting the heads of hands and just throw them into sort of twisty kind of board table where they say different things that whatever the body will land on, it's the path the treasury will take. Like, it feels like that in Hollywood right now. So anyway, yes, is this the, are we seeing the, what do you call it, the fall of the Byzantine Empire basically, or this is the Star Wars brand, the Disney and this sort of thing? Honestly, I don't think they feel it too much. They do feel it, absolutely, but they are currently in what do you call it, up in their head right now with the fight with Florida and the Santos and that sort of thing. So I think they don't really care about the hit they are getting right now. They may be a lot of money, but still Disney has the money to replace it. And the summer is just around the corner, and they are going to earn back those money with no time. And also you have the whole Disney. The Disney Plus is losing subscribers, like millions apparently. Oh, I mean, in a way, it's such a good feeling. Like, we told you, Disney, we told you what was going to happen all those years ago, but you just refuse to accept the fact that we have seen this before throughout history. What are you doing? Listen to the fans. Sometimes, yes, fandom is completely stupid, but listen to the critics. Take in the critics. Why don't you take in the critics? You're just building a wall that's just crumbling, but it's crumbling on top of you instead. Like, Disney. I don't know what happened. We know what happened, yes, absolutely, but the spirit, the spirit of Disney, what happened to it? Anyway, so I'm go and sub to WorldClassBullshitters. I mean, they are amazing. I use them as podcasters most of the times. They are amazing. I am actually going to listen to one of the newly ones, what do you call it, kind of podcast that's been released recently. And I'm going to go out and walk because the sun is out right now. Oh, this is so depressing in a way when you think about it all, but also it's so good. Like, it's like I have reached that stage in my life. I'm almost 30 years old and I'm just sitting down. I'm tired of being political active and that sort of thing nowadays. It's a little bit fighting me in some areas, but for most of the time I just feel like I just want to sit back, open a can of good drink or a flask, whatever, and just everything is burning and it's falling apart, and I'm just sitting there and just enjoying life and just it's that feeling I'm starting to realize a lot of people when they're growing older with all of these things. So I think Tyrone's Magnus said something similar, like he just doesn't care anymore. It's just fun to see everything falling apart. He's just I reached that some sort of next level when it comes to like chilling. Like we don't really care anymore. Just do whatever you want to do. It's just gonna be a complete disaster, and I'm just gonna sit there and watch. And yeah, I know. As I said, sometimes it feels like you must take a stand. You must take a side. Bystanders gonna be caught in crossfire between these forces sooner or later. And I don't know anymore. It's like I don't know where I stand in some places. It just feels like I just want to leave it all. I just want to drop it all, but it's hard to do so. But it's just so hard. Sometimes you just feel like it's the only real good tool I can tell you. They can kind of like fight these sort of feelings is laughter, like laugh, just fun, just fun. You see it positive. That's the only thing I can come up with right now. It's just fun to see the karma hitting Disney, for example. It's just so. It's not like a revenge served cold or something. It's more like we told you that, like I told you so. That feeling, but so much more surreal in sort of way. Anyway, if you came all this way, thank you for watching and that sort of thing. Go and sub to these guys. They're amazing. That's all I'm going to give you right now. See you all later for our next video.